When you're writing freely what you want to be writing, not someone else is telling you to write, then it is going to be a much more organic process. And I think it's going to be a much more authentic process. And that's what I think readers will connect to. Going all the way back to the beginning, I was born and raised in San Diego, very close to the Tijuana border. I'm of Mexican descent, and so I grew up very entrenched in my culture, which I think has absolutely influenced what I write about today. So when I started off writing for children, and it felt more compelling to me because I remember thinking that there wasn't a lot for my daughters to read on the shelves that really celebrated their identity and who they were. There were a lot of pain narratives, there were a lot of immigration stories, and those are important stories. But there weren't stories where they got to star as the hero in the, big epic tale. And so every single book that I've written is very deeply rooted in the Mexican culture, whether it's mythology or folklore or the mysticism, magical realism. And so I think that is probably one of the biggest pieces that really drives the stories that I write, is definitely my cultural background. What I enjoy writing about, it changes all the time because stories find me. I don't go looking for them. I'm very blessed that way as a writer. And when a story grips me so hard that I can't stop thinking about it and I have to know what happens next, then I know I'm going to follow that trajectory. I admire writers who write in public spaces. I cannot do that. As a matter of fact, I have to write with only instrumental music. I typically will create a playlist for each book, and I have a hard time if someone is even in the house. And so I think every time I sit down to the blank screen, I have a sense of fear. Can I do it again? And it doesn't matter how many books I've written. I think, what if I don't have anything left in me? What if there is no story? And yet, I like that I have that feeling because it keeps me humble. It keeps me really grounded and rooted in the story. So I actually seek out the fear. And if I'm not nervous, then I think I'm probably not working on the right project. If I'm not writing what's in my heart, I promise you I've spent 8 hours typing on the computer and it's all going to be deleted the next day. And I know that. And so I get busy doing the typing and I think that I'm, being proactive and I'm being productive. And in the end, you know what? It's all going to get taken out because I wasn't in that place of flow and I wasn't really serving the story and letting it kind of come out organically because I wasn't connected here. I have consistently loved writing from the very beginning, and it has never changed. There have been some books that have been more painful and more of a headache than others, but it is such a big part of my life, and it really has shaped my identity in such a powerful way that I can't imagine not creating art and creating story. This award means so much to me because it's New Mexico, because I became a writer in New Mexico, because my first book was about New Mexico, because I shine a light on New Mexico in many of my books. And my hope is that there are young artists out there and young writers who maybe see a trajectory or see some hope in that space, or see, hey, this person started their career from Las Cruces, New Mexico. I don't have to go to New York. I don't have to go to LA. I can do it too. And so that's my hope, is that these kinds of awards shine that light for the next generation.